Fucking bastard. Oh, hi. What did I title this? Oh yeah, controversy. So there's this controversy that's been going on. Hold on, I think it's too loud. I think. There you go. There's this controversy that's going on TikTok. I don't know how many people, how many of my viewers actually has TikTok, but there's this artist who I will say is 17 years old. Okay, and they drew DDLC fan art, and it was semi-realism, right? And some people don't like it, and that is okay. Also, do not mind that noise. That is my phone charging. Anyway, DDLC fan art. I personally love the fan art. Other people hate it so much that they try to quote unquote fix it and saying that, well well the characters don't actually look Asian, da da da. Said person themselves is Asian. Said artists themselves are indeed in fact Asian. Okay? And they use them their face as a reference. As a reference. And then and then people are like, oh well these characters are actually canonically attractive and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, the amount of people that are saying this are multiple different things. One, they're most likely white. Two, they have not seen actual people, let alone teenage girls. And three, um, they're not an artist. Or they are an artist and their skills are bad, atrociously bad. How do I know? Because I saw a ranter, of course it's from a ranter, um, who was talking about how the characters are actually canonically attractive and blah blah blah. I looked at this person's art on accident because I didn't even know that this person even posted art because I was gonna block this person anyway. This person themselves look like a beginner. And it's not to shame beginners. It's kind of more like when people say that they are like better than you at something, but like they can barely get the basics right. So it's kind of like, why do you have a say in this? But yeah, and majority of the people that are crying about it are teenagers themselves. And I'm not saying that like teenagers shouldn't be complaining about anything. No, I am saying that if you complain about something, you better actually have the proper credentials. Oh my lord, I can't even talk. Make sure you actually know how to do that thing before you start complaining about something. Okay? As you can clearly see, I'm an artist myself. As you can clearly see, do I think I am super skilled? I draw cartoony. I used to have a friend that draws semi-realism. But I don't draw realism at all. I mean, I used to in high school, but like, I don't draw realism or semi-realism. I am a cartoonist, alright? And one thing I will say about her art is that it's very unique, and I like that. And mind you, this happens every single year. No matter if it's the TikTok community, no matter if it's Instagram, all of them. every time when someone has a really cool new art style, it's always like there's always people in the comments expecting to be like anime-esque, and I'm just like, bruh, y'all need a shower. Y'all need a shower, touch some grass, actually talk to people around you. And then I've actually seen a guy, a black dude, which I was very devastated because as you can see, I'm black as hell. I mean, I'm light skinned, but that's because I don't go outside, but I'm black as hell. And, he was saying how they look like men wearing wigs. I'm like, you do realize this is the most normal depiction of a teenage girl, right? Like, I kind of look like them. I mean, not like, um, racially or anything, but I mean, like, in terms of, like, beauty, if that makes sense. As in, like, teenage wise, because they kind of expect teenagers to look super attractive and stuff. And I'm like, real teenagers aren't attractive majority of the time. Like, teenagers have ugly faces. I'm not saying teenagers are chopped. I'm saying teenagers have ugly faces. And that is normal. And Hi. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell do I know that teenagers have ugly faces? Because I was a teenager myself. I had the worst ugly face of my life. So, yeah, I genuinely feel like people who are complaining about the artwork is one, transphobic, misogynistic, racist, and probably has never seen people ever. And probably their minds are melted because of the internet, which is quite sad. It's actually quite depressing. I absolutely hate it because that person's art is very cool and unique. I like art styles that are cool and unique and fun. It's one thing where you don't like someone else's art style. Because I'm not saying that you have to like their art style if you don't like it. That's fine. You don't have to. That's not the problem. The problem is people are going out here harassing them. Stop harassing people. Like, in general. Just stop it. You look like a loser. You look like a freaking loser. Like a Discord mod use like loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't care if you are a teenager yourself, because I hope you would grow out of it and stop being weird. Like, like at this point, it's not immature anymore. You're just weird. You're just really, really weird, and you need a shower. Like, I don't understand, man. Because if you don't like it, that's fine. You can just block the person, scroll away, say that you're not interested. That's all that you have to do. You don't have to harass people because you don't like their art style. You're weird. You're weird. And then the art fixers. Don't get me started with the art fixers. My favorite type of music? I mean, I like music. Well, I wouldn't say music in general because that's a bold-faced lie. I mainly listen to like video game music. But the reason why I put on jazz because I'm trying to put on non-copyright music. But it's kind of hard these days because copyright music is very like it's very like hard to find. But my favorite type is like video game OSTs and Vocaloid music. Uh, but yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I I do understand their criticisms about like the hair and stuff, but I feel like they don't understand how art works. It's quite sad. And then people out here talking about, oh, we need uniqueness and everything else. Nope. You guys need to love yourselves first before you guys start using uniqueness around because y'all don't even know what actual uniqueness even look like. I think a whole lot of people act and look the same because they're so scared of being judged. Now you're probably wondering if I ever been judged. Yes. Yes. All the time. All the he heckin' time. I remember starting my YouTube channel. Starting this channel, right? I um I think it was like a year ago I started to post my OCs. And before you be like, wait, you have OCs other than your Sona? Yes. I have 10 total OCs. And then I have different variations of my main OC depending on what media they are in. Okay? Anyway, um, and my art style at the time, still the same, but kind of different than now. The biggest difference is the way I hatch. That's the difference, and also like the anatomy and stuff. At that time, I used to just reference rather than not, doing what I'm doing now, as in like tracing bases. And before anyone asks, no, tracing regular bases that is from Pinterest or has been made to meant to be traced in the first place is not wrong. Okay? Because I'm tired of people saying tracing in general is bad when there's a nuance to it. Like obviously if you're tracing other people's artwork that's bad. Obviously. Let's be real. Obviously. If you're tracing your own artwork, that's not bad because that's your own artwork. If you're tracing bases, it's not bad because it's like it's for anatomy reasons, right? Right. Or you're just trying to make a pose, but you can't do the pose the way that you want to do it, so you need a little extra help. And there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, when I used to reference off of them, my anatomy was off. It was always off. Not because I wanted to be off. It just was. There was times where the head was too small, or I made the head a different size to make it look bigger, um, or I just left it alone because I knew the head was small. I just didn't care. So I left it small intentionally, and then you have people that are like, actually, the head is too small. The head is way too small. And then you have people defending me in the comments section, be like, oh, but like, it's like intentional, it's part of their style, or part of her style, because people assume I'm a woman, I'm a girl, because of my voice. I'm non-binary, for those that doesn't know. Um, but then people are like, no, but it's like super, like not not consistent at all. And I'm just like, it's annoying. It's actually really annoying. This is not the one I'm looking for. Hold on. I'm looking for a very specific one. No, here it is. Here we go. I wanted to use her regular nails. Yeah, I made this a while ago. I posted it on my TikTok and my Blue Sky, but I don't promote my Blue Sky. It's very intentional. Now, before you ask, why don't you promote it? Because it's not for children. I don't want children to see the type of stuff I see that I post on Blue Sky, so I don't promote it anywhere. So yeah. Anyway. I get people like giving me like different advice that I never asked for. I'm surprised that I don't have people try to correct my art themselves. You know, like those art fixtures. There was only one time where I had a lot of hate for my account, but it wasn't like a massive type of wave, if that makes sense. So one time I posted a speed paint of one of my OCs, and you know how I draw my eyes together intentionally? I want to preference that yes, I draw eyes together very intentional. I posted on TikTok, and then I went to sleep because it was like really late at night. I woke up. The amount of messages, like the comments that I had, like 99% of them was like, you drew the eyes too close, and like they were very like hateful and then mean. And then there's this one specific thread where there was a different artist that was defending me and whatever. And like, mind you, I went to sleep, okay? And then there was like these unhidden there was these hidden comments, and a lot of Russians do not like my art, which is fine. I don't really care. And yeah, of course I deleted all of them except one, which gave me like a thumbs up, which basically that's them like complimenting my art. And of course I had to delete the thread. I was gonna leave the thread up so people can read it, but people have the attention span of an egg, so they're not actually gonna read the entire thread. Um, so yeah, back in the day, I used to have a lot of people tell me how I should draw and everything else. Um, like sometimes I don't get it as much anymore. I really don't get it as much anymore. The one time where I had someone like telling me that I shouldn't do a certain thing was when it was one of my subs. Well, I don't know if this person is still subbed to me or not. I don't know. And it was a speed paint of a chibi Bayonetta, right? And I used a chibi base from Pinterest, but it was not a one-to-one trace, right? It was actually the lines were very far off. Like I feel like you can tell what's traced and what's not based on how the artist is like drawing over the lines, if that makes sense. And my lines were not one to one, like at all. The tail itself was definitely not one to one. But said person was like, tracing is bad. And I had to educate this person that one, this is a base, not an actual art piece. Two, even though this is a base, it's not a one-to-one trace. Like at all. I don't like doing one-to-one traces on bases. Why? Because on Pinterest, every single base has a different art style, which will end up um like making your art style different. And if you're okay with that, that's on you. That's your choice. For me, I had this art style for a long time. It's a very intentional art style that I developed, and tracing an art base that has a completely different art style than mine would just blow up my head. So, um, I don't draw it one to one like at all. Not even relatively close. But I still use them for anatomy purposes. Because anatomy is always something I just wasn't that good at. Not that good at. I was like, man, I'm like okay with it. I'm not like, I'm not like horrible, but I'm like okay with it. Maybe this needs to be like slightly darker. Yeah, this will work. Yep, that's the color right there. But yeah. But I really do believe that every time when when someone has a different art style and the community is just being horrible towards that person and start doing art fixes and stuff, it's kind of sad because those art fixers has no idea how to draw. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't actually know how to draw. And on top of that, people have been like telling those people that the original artist never gave them permission to actually fix their art, and I 100% agree with them. Even if you're trying to be nice, which I don't think there is a way to actually be nice about it, unless you ask said person and said person say yes. Um, you shouldn't do that. You should never do that. Like ever. Like ever. Ever. You just look like a horrible person. Like no joke. You look ridiculous. Absolute nonsense, if you will. But yeah, I genuinely do hope that the artist is okay. Because the artist is a kid, mind you. The artist is literally 17. Now, the people that are complaining about it, I do not believe they're grown adults, and I refuse to believe that they're grown adults. I fully believe that they are teens and people that are not even Asian themselves. Um, so I don't believe them. I think people that hate on others, not just like for having different art styles, but being different in general, need to touch grass. Oh crap. My camera. Hold up. Hold up, gang. Come here. Come over here. There we go. Yeah. I think they should touch grass, bro. Now, you may or may not know, but a lot of people, um, that are subbed or follow me should know that I am a Yumi shipper. I think I mentioned it before in a different live stream a while back, but I don't remember. But I myself is a Yumi shipper. And yes, I'm a full grown adult doing this type of stuff. And before you be like, actually it's meant for kids, it's meant for teens. There are a lot of adults that are Yumi shippers, but they don't post very often because they got a thing called life and a thing called a job. You can have a job and still be a Yumi shipper. It's not a very difficult concept. And there are, antis, and there are toxics Yumis, and they are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, and they are both horrible in their own way. They are just as bad as the others. I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? The antis are the ones that are like, your FL doesn't love you, blah blah blah, and I hope Yumi shippers go, ugh, like I'm like, bro, it's not even that serious, dude. And then them being like, that your FO is fictional, right? Yeah. Did, or, did you know that? It's kind of important that you know that, you know? Because F in FO means fictional other. You good? And then you have the toxic Yumis that are usually the ones that are, they're usually the ones that are, non-sharers. But I will say this. There's nothing wrong with non-sharers. Okay? Non-sharers are not the issue. It's the toxic non-sharers that you should stray away from. Because actual non-sharers do not care if your FO is the same as theirs. Why? Because they blocked you already. They already blocked you. And they're moving on to something else. They do not care. They don't care. I'm telling you right now, they don't have an inch of careness in their bones to be caring about you. You should be worrying about the toxic ones that are trying to dox you. That's right, doxing you. Absolutely atrocious. You see, some of the things that people say that some non-sheriffs do is actually not as horrendous, or at least I would say it's worse. I would say it's arguably worse than you think. Okay? The toxic ones make posts about how to dox their doubles simply because they like the same fictional character that neither of you actually own. Okay? And guess what? You both know that. You both know that you don't actually own these characters. It's just one of them just, you know, are very weird about it. Now you might be wondering, Ias, what is your sharing status thing? I am undecided. Why am I undecided? Because my doubles are usually either teens or they're non-sharers themselves. Yep, that's right. And plus, I have no idea how I would actually interact with my doubles until I actually interact with my doubles. Now, people think it's mirror sharing, but no, I actually have no idea. I don't really know. But I don't really care. It's not like it's the biggest thing in the world. Like, I genuinely don't think it's like massive at all. Cause I just be posting whatever. Like, I don't post rants. As you can see, I just post speed paints. I just like I post art. I make live streams once a week. I just exist, man. And it's fine if people don't like it. Like, it's none of their business anyway. Like, I don't know how many of my doubles have actually blocked me. I've actually blocked like a couple of them. I think I've blocked a couple of them. Um, Not because I didn't want to interact with them, but because they themselves were non-sharers. Yeah, they themselves were non-sharers. And before anyone is like, "Oh, you hate them," no, I don't hate non-sharers. I'm just respecting their boundaries. That's all what it is. Because I don't really care what a stranger thinks about me. Why would I care about how strangers view me when literally I don't know these people. I don't know nothing. But yeah. I will I will shut up now. Wait, did I even draw it here? Well, no, because it wouldn't make sense. Even if I did draw it there, it wouldn't make sense. Crap. I actually like these hands. These are what it looked like if I have never drawn, like, hands with, well, not hands, but just draw with bases. This is exactly what it looks like. I didn't even use bases for this one. Yep, that's right. I can draw actual fingers and fingernails. I know, I'm cringe as hell. Oh my god. It's okay though. It's okay. One of my mutuals, who's a Yumi shipper herself, made a post once asking adult Yumi shippers if you ever felt cringe about Yumi shipping. And I'm like, I'm cringe regardless. Like, you Yumi shipping is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's something I do, but that's not why I'm actually cringe. You wanna know why I'm cringe? You wanna know why? It's because I'm autistic. I'm neurodivergent. Okay? I know. Baffling. I'm actually neurodivergent, guys. And I think very differently from a lot of people. From a lot of people. That is why I'm cringe and weird. It has nothing to do with me being a Yumi shipper. It's like a bonus, but that's not why. Now, before anyone asks, yes, I like being one. Before anyone asks, I didn't really had much hate. I had like one, I had like one hate, and was just some random person who is private. Of course, the person is private. Saying jobs, bro. Really? Jobs, bro? You act like as if I don't have a job. It's crazy. Anyway, whimsy, bro. Whimsy, pure whimsy. I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't have. And it's kind of sad. And I'm not even talking about adults anymore. I'm just talking about like teens. Teens don't have whimsy no more. Which is crazy because that's like the perfect age to have whimsy. That's like the ripe age to have whimsy in your soul. But nope. Anything you do, bad. Anything you say, bad. You try to be different in a cool way and not harmful to others, bad. All of it is atrociously bad. Absolutely not. You should never do this ever in your entire life. And I'm like, that sucks. But you know, that's not me. I don't really care. I don't care, man. I thought that was an ad. I thought that was an ad. Never mind. I thought that was an ad. Yay. Freak. Uh, Okay. We are getting somewhere, guys. Wearing makeup. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I look like a grandma right now. Gonna start. So. There. There. We're not done yet, okay? I am thinking about something. I am blind. I can't do this, man. Not that I can't draw. Of course I can draw. I'm just blind, and I don't like being blind. Okay. Okay. And, we're gonna go with green. That's too light. That's too dark. Yeah, that'll do. Hold on. I'm bringing it closer to my face. Now that you need to see it up close. I'm blind. I never wear my glasses when I draw. When I actually draw, I put my tablet up. Not my tablet. This is my laptop. And I put my laptop up to my face. Like I am a squinting old grandma. There we go. Oh, sorry. I thought. Is my phone dying on me? No, it's nowhere near dying. I am blind. Never mind, guys. I thought my phone was dying. Oh my god. I thought it was dying. It's literally not. It's far from dying. Okay. Never mind, guys. I am very dumb. How long has it been? Close to an hour? Well, close to 15 minutes, actually. Um, Three. Hmm. Oops.